Hello, Noblesville West Middle School. Welcome to our first virtual faculty meeting. This is Katie Seago. If you have any questions about anything we covered today, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to discuss whatever questions you have or comments. Our focus today is going to be the 10 elements of effective instruction. So I want you to think about, we've done all this talking about essential questions and scaffolding and differentiation and UBD and how do we pull all of these things together? How do we plan for those individual needs that our students have who are sitting in our classrooms? So effective teaching and pulling all these elements together is really, we can agree, a science. It's not something you can just sit down and say, I think I'm going to try this today. There's a process. There are certain things that need to be in place. So the first thing we are going to do is talk about who those students are who are sitting in our classrooms. Noblesville Schools is beginning to introduce what is called the MTS Model. MTSS stands for multi-tiered support systems. In other words, think about what supports do we put in place for all of our students and what does it look like in different tiers. So MTSS encompasses the work that we already do with RTI and PBIS, but we just want to make sure we're all using the same terminology. Seems like in the past there has been some confusion about what does Tier 1 mean, what does Tier 2 mean, and so we just want to clarify all of that. For right now, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and pause the video and read through what these different tiers mean. Notice the percentages of our students that are in these tiers. So go ahead and take a pause, read through, and then push play when you're ready to move on. So at West, we have determined what these different tiers look like and who is, I guess we could say, who is seated in these tiers. So tiers 1 and 2 are our core instruction. These are students at our school who have passed I-STEP. Tier 3 is for students who have not passed I-STEP, but they've only missed it by 25 points or less. These students receive lab interventions at our building. Any student who is beyond that is what we consider beyond Tier 3. So those are students who receive special education services, things like BSD, basic skills, or intensive labs. These are for our students who did not pass I-STEP by 26 or more points. I would like to point out, though, that even if a student is in special education, that doesn't mean that they can't be part of a Tier 3 intervention. I know sometimes that seems to be a little confusing for everyone, so I just want to clarify that. All of our students in our building can be part of any one of these tiers, no matter what their label is. So to clarify that point just a little bit further, all of our students receive the core instruction. So when we say core instruction is only tiers 1 and 2, it's not. Everybody is receiving that, which is why our core instruction is so important. So the question remains, okay, we know we have all these different students sitting in our classroom. How do we actually put into plan what these students need? So what I'd like to introduce you to is the elements of effective teaching. What I love about this chart when we take a look at it is that it is so much of what all of us are already doing. Like many things, it comes down to that being strategic with the implementation of these things. So what I would like for you to do, on the document below this video on our Canvas page, you will see a link to this document, and it is the elements of effective teaching. There are 10 principles that are on here. As you read, I'd like for you to use your metacognitive markers to mark for connections that you have or questions between the principles and the UBD work of your PLC. I want you to see how these things are intertwined. This isn't something new. It's something that helps us be more strategic. Just a friendly reminder that your metacognitive markers that we're going to focus on are going to be the star, the question, and the exclamation. You will be asked at the end to go ahead and share, after you finish reading, share the discussion question that is also linked below this video. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you for reading this. Thank you for listening to this and responding to the discussion below. Have a great day. Bye-bye.